of a hitch there. So we'll hope that will be fixed, before we come to you. But let me bring into the studio with lawyer, public affairs analyst Fred Nzeakor. You heard what Alistair actually said, somewhat, blaming the APC for some of the crises that we're witnessing in Rivers State. But if you look at the governor of Rivers State himself, Simlai Fubara, he swore in 23 caretaker chairmen into office yesterday and told them you can operate anywhere because the offices are being manned by, the security personnel. Do you think that, what exactly do you consider the legality of this action?
Not legality, but illegality. There are illegalities on both sides. And I will explain to you why there are illegalities on both sides. But let me first start by saying, reacting to the call by Mr. Tony Okocha for state of emergency, it reminds me of what happened in the era, during the reign of King Solomon. Two women were tussling for motherhood or ownership of a baby. Two women. One said, when the matter was brought before the king, one said, the king now told them, well, since two of you are tussling for this baby, I will slice the baby into two, half to you and half to you. The one who was the real mother of the baby cried and said, no, please, my king, don't kill of course, don't cut the baby because that meant killing the baby. Allow the baby to grow. When the baby grows, he will know his mother. The other one who never owned the baby, I said, yes, this is a wise king. Cut the baby into two. That simply tells you who the mother was. And the king now gave the baby to the real mother. For Tony Okocha to be calling for state of emergency in his state speaks volume of what his intention for the state is. He's the one, I want to agree very completely with Alistair, that Tony and his people in APC are the one creating all the crises in Rivers State. And it is now the same people creating crisis are now crying, oh, come and declare state of emergency. Come and declare state of emergency. Tony can be likened to that woman who told King Solomon to slice the baby into two. Now, why I said that there is illegality on both sides? Supreme Court has said that you cannot extend the tenure of a local government chairman or a governor or a president beyond the statutory provision of the law. It's very simple. At the provincial level, we had a former president that tried it and he failed. At the state level, nobody has ever tried it to succeed. At local government level, there are copious pronouncements and judgments of Supreme Court. The classicals was that of Abia State against Attorney General of the Federation. Attorney General of Abia against Attorney General of the Federation in 2013, and Supreme Court said emphatically that you don't have, no governor in Nigeria has authority to elongate the tenure of a local government chairman. There was also the case in Ekiti State in 2017, and the Supreme Court said the same thing. There was also the case in Plateau State against Gang in 2019. Supreme Court said the same thing. So there are a plethora of judgments by the Supreme Court that says no governor has the right, no House of Assembly has the right to elongate the tenure of a local government chairman. On the other side, so any attempt to elongate the tenure is contrary to the provisions of the Constitution and contrary to multiple pronouncements of the Supreme Court. And that is why it was very easy for the court to throw away that law number 2 of House of Assembly of Rivers State. So without going into the details of whether those who made that law were even authorized to make the law, we don't want to go into that.
No. We have to consider
the law itself.
We have to consider all of this issue.
It's an illegal law which the court has thrown away.
No. Because if you look at the Federal High Court judgments, by Justice Omotosho, recognizing Martins and Amewole as the speaker, and there is another state high court judgment that's at variance with these. So which one would you say takes precedence? Because the Federal High Court or the state?
There is Federal High Court, there is State High Court. Those are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. And that is why I say...
Regardless of whether it is federal or state?
Of course, regardless of whether it is federal or state, they are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. They are equal in competence, equal in jurisdiction, equal in capacity. It's only... And that is why matters that move from Federal High Court or State High Court now go to Court of Appeal. And that's why I said on this platform some other time that this matter of Rivers State will be decided at the Supreme Court, because even at the Court of Appeal, the one who loses will not agree until there's a Supreme Court pronouncement. But it pains me that the wheel of justice grinds very slowly in Nigeria, because this is a matter of urgent national interest. And if it is possible to urge the learned justices of the court to kindly expedite action on this matter, so there will be peace in Rivers State. But meanwhile, the court has said status quo ante must be maintained. And if anybody now begins to say, oh, we can elongate the tenure, I tell you that that is an illegality. The second leg of the illegality is one being committed by Fubara himself.
That's right.
Where the Supreme Court, again, Supreme Court of Nigeria and the Court of Appeal, in many other cases, said you cannot put caretaker committee when you are supposed to conduct an election in the state. But when you now put the whole thing on the balance, you now begin to look at which illegality is more grievous than the other. Because what is the caretaker committee? Hold this in the interim, pending when we conduct an election. Now they are now asking the governor, why didn't you conduct the election all this while? As if they did not know that the governor has been fighting a battle of survival. Why are they? They don't know that the governor has been fighting a battle of survival. So now that he has more or less settled down, it is from now that you begin to say, oh, governor, you should conduct an election. So if you want to be honest, you will agree that the only option in Rivers State is to let caretaker committee run the affairs of the local government, but there must be a timetable, a timeline for election to be conducted, even though we know that local government elections in Nigeria are mere charades. Mere charades. I said this with all sense of responsibility, that there is no governor in Nigeria that has conducted a credible local government election, and all these things are the things that stifle the existence and the successes of the third tier of government in Nigeria, the government that is supposed to be the closest to the people and deliver dividends of democracy to the people, has been stifled. All efforts made to untangle such a stranglehold have not succeeded up to today. But at least let the optics look right. Let there be an election, even though it may be shambolic, but at least let there be an election. That is what Mr. Okocha is saying. Yeah. But unfortunately, the same Mr. Okocha, whose party caused the crisis in Rivers State, is now asking for a state of emergency. I think it is very unfortunate.
Yeah, but then the APC would definitely disagree with you. You're saying that they are the one fomenting trouble there. Because if you look at it, you wouldn't say that it's the APC that destroyed the bust of Nyesom Wike in Iziobia-Akpor local government area, the one erected in front of one of the local governments. The last time I saw this was during the protests and of the removal of colonialists in Germany, Berlin, the Confederate statues, against racism and all of that.
Has anybody been arrested?
Black Lives Matter. But then, so this similar incident play out in Rivers State. What exactly did that mean to you?
The government has a responsibility through the police to arrest those who foment trouble. Who foment troubles. I mean, it's a very simple thing. If you say the boss of Nyesom Wike was destroyed, how does that hurt the state? Agree that it is
no. It's actually a responsibility.
Agree that it is a felony. Yes,
of this crisis.
But it is duty of the police to arrest whoever that caused it. It is not the whole Rivers people that destroyed the statute. It's not the whole Rivers people. But why I say that APC is the one fomenting trouble, for any party to begin to draw an expression and say we are at war. Where is the war? These are politicians, even doing what they should not be. They should not do.
So you
and now they are now calling it war.
The destruction of the River State House of Assembly complex, the killing of two persons,
the killing of the two persons,
the takeover of the assembly itself. The actions and actions of all of the parties involved.
Crimes.
Seems like a war.
These are crimes, not war. These are crimes, essentially anchored on politics. These are crimes. And we expect and we call on security agencies to fish out the criminals that cause all these problems and punish them. Most of them are hiding behind big political gladiators. And these are the big political gladiators that are hiding them from being fished out. Right. So we must remove the veil and grab those who are causing the problem, punish them adequately so that others will enter their houses and stop fomenting trouble for the state. And most importantly, the governor that was elected by the people should be allowed to lead the people. Should. Everybody has said so.
So you feel that he's been hindered from...
Everybody he should be allowed. He has said so himself.
Let's
but
take it
he's being
to...
hindered by his political godfather and his hangers on.
Let's take it to Alistair.